We're going to head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason. I had a lot of them about Deshaun Watson. This gives you a sample of what people are calling in about.
Yeah, this is about Deshaun Watson. The whole 22 cases thing, 24 cases. I don't think, because of lack of evidence, I don't think he's going to get suspended that much, that like people think he is. Everybody's saying a year, everybody's saying 2 years. I don't think he's going to get suspended like everybody thinks because of the lack of evidence. I think he might get 6 or 7 games, six or 8 games, and he might appeal it. What are your thoughts? Go Brown.
As always, appreciate it. G. Bush, the evidence is kind of irrespective of the amount of the suspension. Again, the problem is going to be the NFL has to protect its reputation, and it comes into sponsors and all kinds of things like that. So civil litigation, criminal stuff is irrespective of that code of conduct that they're going to use as the basis for the suspension. And it might be longer than 6 or 8 games just because the NFL feels it has to do that.
And I will say the NFL only feels it has to do that when it comes to players. Daniel Snyder has no suspensions. Jerry Jones has no suspensions. Robert Kraft has no suspensions. They are 3 of the most popular owners in the game. They've received no compensation. There've been no draft picks taken. There's no fines levied. As a matter of fact, these are well documented. I just did a video the other day documenting the cases. So the code of conduct, to be clear, and there's always a double standard. I just always like to lead with that. Yes, there's a code of conduct, but that is only for the players. The owners and the people who are in administration, they don't live by those rules. When you're a billionaire, you can skate on certain things. It is what it is. But I like to start with that. When you talk about Deshaun Watson and his penalty, one of the things that you may, and I said people talk about this is horrible for Deshaun Watson because the Texans are added to it. I come out on another different area in the way I look at things. Well, go ahead. The Houston Texans, you part of the investigation now. I want to see if y'all got the same energy level. Now, Deshaun Watson, everybody wanted to give him a year. And we gave him the year based on allegations, right? Because people said he did something. Well, now those same allegations are now tied to an NFL organization. We're going to see if the NFL is really about the optics, or are they really about finding out what happened and doing the right thing? Because if Deshaun Watson is named in a lawsuit for 22 women, I believe the Houston Texans are named in lawsuits for 22 women. Are you going to suspend the general manager for the Texans? Does he get a year without pay? What about the owner? They take some draft picks or something? I'm trying to figure that out too. Because at the end of the day, if one person's in the lawsuit, the other person's in the lawsuit. So the league has a catch-22 here. I can go hard on Deshaun Watson. I can really throw the hammer down and give him a year if they want to. But the problem is this. Deshaun Watson then goes and the NFL Players Association files a grievance saying, well, if the Houston Texans are named, why they have no penalties levied, any of that? You just believe the women when it came to Deshaun, but not the Texans. So my thing, and this is the first time I said this on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. At this point, it's not only bad for the Texans, it's bad for the NFL. What they need to do is get to a table, Deshaun Watson, the NFL, Roger Goodell, and the Texans and the Browns, and say, look, right now, Deshaun, we advocate that you're going to go ahead, pay these lawsuits, and this is the amount of games that you're going to get. We'll negotiate it. How's about, say, 4 to 6? We can appeal it. We'll drop you down to 4. All this goes away, and we can get back to the business of playing football, because at the end of the day, that's what we're in the business to do. But if you want to keep going through this litigation, pretty soon it's going to be the Texans. Next it will be the NFL. And so Deshaun Watson can negotiate with how many games he's going to sit out. It is what it is. But the NFL and Deshaun Watson, the Browns and the Texans better get in the room and figure it out, because the longer you wait on it, you give somebody else the opportunity to keep building cases and momentum. And pretty soon you got a class action lawsuit against everybody who's ever been to a masseuse or had a massage in the NFL. We might want to figure this out.
Yeah, they need to get it figured out sooner rather than later, because it's not going to go away until they figure it out and get it settled.